So I have done that activity for all. Now we should start blending. So I'm going to blend that thick graphite that I put in the inside section. Right, so trying to create an illusion of the inside being a different, altogether different section. So although I did go pretty heavy on the graphite, but if you still want, I'll show you how you can increase the impact of that. Right. So now we are going to blend the graphite we have put at the edges. Right, and then just a touch on these buds so that they look highlighted. So we have already touched them with graphite, so just putting my Tortolone to blend it so that they don't look patchy. So you can see there are different ways to go about shading. Had the tag been bigger in size, probably I would have shaded them in a manner that they look like overlaps, but since the size is small here, so I didn't want to take the risk of turning the whole thing gray, right? So I have just touched the buds. So take your time, take the time to smudge each of them. Right, so this is how it looks like after smudging. So now what we can also do here is, I'm going to do a small little exercise. Use my gray watercolor pencil and add a thin line inside here. I'm just retracing the aura, the inner aura, right? So since this would be darker than my graphite, so I'm using a gray watercolor pencil here and re-emphasizing the inner aura, retracing that line. With a gray watercolor pencil. You may or may not do it. If you have higher HP pencils, darker pencils, you can use them. Your choice, right? So if you wish, you can use your brush pen and just touch, right? So I'm going to wet it and just going to touch it. Not much, just a touch, a mild touch, right? A very feather touch, not blending much. I don't want my gorgeous to be covered with gray, so just going easy, just touching on the gray watercolor that I put, making the edges a bit more darker than was created by the pencil. Right, I think that's enough. So you can do that exercise here also, it's up to you, right? If you want to make these edges also darker, I think we would want to do that. So I would add a layer of my watercolor pencil. And we'll see if we want to actually smudge it or not later, but I'm adding the pencil. So as I said in the earlier sessions also, you can't really plan a tile. It's more or less you have to draw on the spot, extempo. So you can touch it and will create a little darker effect than your pencil. I think it's looking nice. So I'm just touching, not spreading much, just re-emphasizing the dark pencil since this is creating a better effect. Right, so the next thing is to use the center. So I have a couple of pencils here with me. These are all watercolor pencils, and I have a purple, a dark blue, a lighter shade of blue, and white. So let's quickly, kind of draw a gem. You might want to take a class on this because there's so many ways to go about drawing a gem and to use it in your tile. Yeah, so there are different ways. Pretty exciting how you can go about using it. So I'm using my purple pencil here, created a dark border with the purple, right, and adding some purple at the top, then moving on to my darker shade of blue, right. So I'm using circular motions here, then moving on to my lighter shade of blue, right. I'm not going to cover the entire thing. I am going to leave a white space here, right. So again picking up so keep alternating your pencils, light, dark, very dark. So it's just about blending. Again putting my darker blue on the purple, merging it with the rest of the blue. Again using my lighter blue over everything, all the colors. Right. Just take your time, blend, don't push too hard, right. So I'm going to re-emphasize the outer edge with the dark, and then I'm going to use this white to finally blend all, give a smoother finish. Right, so these are all watercolor pencils. There are various mediums that you can use to create gem. think the paper is getting disturbed here. So we don't want to overdo, right? So just a touch of darker blue. I'm alternating colors, dark blue, light blue, purple. So I'm going to leave it here because yeah, right? So we'll use my jelly roll 10 and just add a touch. At times it doesn't work on the pencil, so go easy. Right? Just the impression of a shimmer, shine, a light falling from the opposite side, from this side, right? So with the rest of the tile, I'm going to finish it. This border which is empty, I'm just going to, and we have not added any shading here. I think we can highlight our gorgeous also by adding a little graphite here. Right, so yeah, and probably use the white charcoal and add a highlight here all throughout. So if you want, you can keep going on and on and on and embellish and, you know, add things to your tile. There is no limit as such, right? So this blank border, not quite liking it, so I'm going to use a bolder pen, probably an 08, and add the pattern Shattuck here. So just going to add lines like these. Tangle pattern Shattuck. Right? So we already know how to draw this pattern. So I have added Shattuck on the border, and I am then again using my grey pencil and adding it on the edges. You can also do that exercise with your pencil. Use the graphite pencil and add the shade. And I have added the grey pencil, watercolor pencil. I'm just going to blend it a little so it's faster. Right. So this is the pattern tag, and this is one of the ways to go about using the pattern. So one last thing that I'm going to do here is retrace this line, this heart shape that has been created. I'm going to retrace these lines. As I always tell you, it's always a good idea to re-emphasize a few lines here and there after you have added shading and color. Adds to the look of the tile, right? Right, so that's about it. I'm now going to close my tile here. So add my chop, right, and sign and date my tile. Today is 22nd March 21, and I would like to show you some of the other tiles. So this is a tile where tag has been arranged like this, starting from 1 and then increasing, right? So I'll be posting all these tiles on my page. Again, a tile where tag has been used as a filler. These leaf kind of shapes have been filled up with tag. Same is the case with the fishes, right? Looks like fish scales here, but the pattern is tag, right? Again, tag arranged like a flower here in a circle. Looks like flower. It's just about the arrangement. The pattern is the same. The basic stroke is the same. Again, a tile where we are kind of merging 4 tangles with each other, right? What is called generally as morphing or transiting tangles, starting from tag to some sand swirls to bunzos and then crescent moon, or you can call it bee light, right? So I'll be posting all these tiles on my page, and here is today's tile. So catch me with another session with Zentangle original pattern, a new pattern to learn. Till then, have a good time, stay safe, bye bye.